Trinidad and Tobago, central to any policy planning, there must be a framework, and a framework that makes sense. So when you're talking about sport and youth affairs, youth empowerment, youth development, when you're talking about that, you have to make sure that you have the linkages. You have to make sure that you have those gaps filled. Okay, we all want and we know the interests of our citizenry of developing the youth through sport. Why? It mitigates against rising crime, low unemployment. It gives you a certain discipline structure, all of that to be model citizens. Yeah, but how do we establish those linkages? The first thing we must have is bring it back down to the schools. In our policy vision, you'll see that we have a central part to play with the schools and with community. So first and foremost, you must have fields within the community that make sense. You know, we like to talk about we have a lot of stadia, but mostly that is for the high end, the high performance athletes, national programs, and that is good. Most of them built and maintained, lights put up by the UNC. Okay, now we're in a position now to really try and link, synergize youth and sport. So I'll give you an example. This behind me here is an example of what a community field in Trinidad and Tobago will mostly look like. Look at that. And you know, people say, well, you know, we are ahead. In every community we have lights and we have a field, but look at this field. What football, what technical level we can expect of our young players to get up from this field? All they could get here is hard tackle, ball bouncing up, and don't tell me we produce players from fields like this. We have. That is not because of fields like this, it's in spite of fields like this. So the vision must be to have fields across the communities where schools have access to those fields in order to increase the technical and participatory level in all communities with all schools. And I'm not talking only about football. Look at that. We're talking about all sports, because this field here, for example, if it was well maintained, we have cricket, we have football, we can have hockey. So the idea is to have fields according to the Belgian model or any first world country that advance their youth through sport, is to make these all-weather fields. Now we train this out in light of what is our framework to make sure that we have a policy vision with continuity. Because what we could do is come and fool people like Shamfa Kajo and have one set of events, put one set of names on it, have it in Skinner Park, which is not a good field by the way, or have it in somewhere, some other field, in some stadium, at Tobolan, or wherever, and it's just an event. Everybody go home after, everybody feeling good, but there's no continuity. We intend to change that. The Minister of Sport is hands-on looking at all the facilities across the country, and we intend to bring it home in these years under Kamala Prasad Bisesa to really have a policy vision and policy implementation that gives us the guarantee and the assurance that for generations to come, our youth will be well served. Trinidad and Tobago, the General, loving the house all the time.